Subway Pontypridd. Can I take your order, please?
Speaking to me now from Port Talbot, CONOR McINTOSH. CONOR, good to see you. It's been a while. How are things, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Signed a professional contract last year. Obviously, with the COVID outbreak and everything, we didn't manage to get the fight on. But now things are starting to, look back up. And got a date now, October 16th in Plymouth. So just been grafting for that, really.
So before we get into your professional boxing career, can you just tell me how you first became involved in boxing? What age, what gym did you train at?
I originally started with Thai Bar ABC. A lot of my cousins who live in the Manchester area, my older cousins used to beat the shit out of us all when we were kids and stuff. So yeah, we just started boxing down here then, me and my younger brother, and it just took off from there really. Won a lot of amateur titles and stuff like that from a young age. Went into the seniors then, dabbled in a bit of bare knuckle, as you know. And then, just thought, the next step would be to turn professional because, I just love the sport and I just love, working on my craft and getting better and better and hopefully, just be the best I can.
What was it about boxing that you enjoyed when you first started as a young boy?
Well, I started a lot of team sports like football and rugby and stuff like that, and you had to, rely on other people and stuff. But with the boxing, it's just you. So yeah, that really, made me very, determined and committed in training and things like that. Because I know, if you lose, I can't be blaming anybody else. It's just you. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
What titles did you win as an amateur? Did you fight in the Welsh Championships, that type of thing? Yeah,
so with the junior and youth, I won Welsh titles, got silver medals in British Championships and stuff like that. Went over, travelled in Finland at the Tampa Cup and won silver there as well.
And did you box any well-known names, or who were the guys who were around your time, that your contemporaries, when you were involved in amateur boxing?
A lot of local boys. Obviously, there's Lance Cooksey, who's I think he's about 10 and 11 and 0 now. I think he's making a good name for himself out there. Who else? Jake Tinklin. Me and him have had one fight each, and we've won one, lost one. Very good amateur. I think he's doing well in the pros now as well. So I think a lot of us have really just decided it's time to turn over. I may be a bit later than some, but it's better late than never. I'm just really looking forward to get into it and just be the best I can and just fight my way up through the ranks.
What would you say is your greatest achievement as an amateur boxer, looking back on it?
I'd probably say winning silver in the Tampa Cup probably because there's a lot of nations actually involved in that tournament, and I thought I did really well. Won a silver, beat the Russian national, beat the Finland national.
And as an amateur boxer, what was your boxing dream? Did you consider boxing something you were going to do for the rest of your life? Do you consider it a career, or was it just a bit of fun?
Well, at the beginning, it was just a bit of fun. Enjoyed going down the gym and everything. Got taught a lot of discipline. All the older boys at the gym sort of took me under their wing. It was more of a social aspect than anything. But once I got that feeling for winning, and just it just took over me then, and that's what I've just become obsessed with really. And I don't think I'll ever not be involved in boxing, whereas that be a fighter or even a coach or anything. I'll always be involved at some level.
As a boy, were you looking to go pro from a young age? Was it always the ambition?
Yeah, yeah. As soon as I won my first fight, I was like, yeah, I'm going to keep on doing this for a long time. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And before we get to your pro boxing career, which hasn't started yet, but it's going to start shortly. You dipped your toe in, or dipped your knuckle in, if you want to put it that way, in bare knuckle boxing. How did that come about?
Well, I'm just going to be honest with you. I went to watch my good mate Dan Chapman fight in his first fight up there. I got a bit pissed, got a bit drunk up there and started, not running my mouth, but just saying oh yeah, I'll do this. Yeah, telling Dan, yeah, get me on the next one, we class now, I want to have a go And then a couple of months later, I get a phone call off Dad. He goes, oh, do you remember that bare knuckle thing you're on about? Yeah, we've got your fight lined up now. I was like, oh, I can't really back out now, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, so that happened, and it was great. It was, great experience. My mother wasn't too pleased. I think she's still a bit pissed off about it, but, it's just one of them things, isn't it? The boy I fought, Robin, me and him still great friends to this day, do you know what I mean? So, you see much of each other, and, anytime, one of us has got something going on, we're always in touch and stuff, but that's just the way boxing is, you beat the hell out of each other, and then you're just best mates afterwards. It's the best thing about it.
how did you tell your mother that you were going to have a bare knuckle boxing match? Because a lot of mothers won't even watch their sons box or spar, but then how did you inform her?
I didn't tell her. I told my dad, and he's like, oh, I'm going to have to keep this from her. And I was like, yeah, you will. So basically, we went up to London, did the fight, and I texted her then afterwards, like, yeah, by the way, it was bare knuckle, I'm fine, don't worry about it. And she was like, oh, just send me a picture of your face. So, yeah.
And when you actually met up with your mother again, what was her reaction? Did she give you a ticking off or a row, as we say in Wales?
Yeah, she gave me a row. She said, look, I'm super proud of you, but make sure you never do it again. So I've kept that promise, to be honest. So.
And what would you say is the difference between bare knuckle boxing and glove boxing, apart from obviously the fact you're not wearing gloves? Is there any differences technically or any differences with the way the fight progresses?
Yeah, I'd probably say, in terms of like defence, like, you don't even want to get close enough to take them on the hands, because obviously you've got no gloves to like take the the punishment of the punches. So literally all I did was just stay away completely and just dance around, do you know what I mean? Because as soon as you get into that distance, anything can happen. It's one shot and it's over, do you know what I mean? So.
And you weren't tempted to stay in bare knuckle boxing?
I don't know, it was a hell of a buzz, like. I really enjoyed it. I think, once I've gone as far as I can in the pro games, because as you know, like Waba wanted to disqualify me from competing amateurly because of the bare knuckle thing, which unrightly so. I stood in, at a meeting with the board to try and get my amateur license back. I don't think I'd ever go back to bare knuckle boxing as long as I'm involved in, professional boxing or amateur boxing or anything like that. But, after I retire from professional boxing, do you know what I mean? I might have another go, like, because it's class.
And it's a stupid question, but a fanboy type question, I suppose. Yeah. Does it feel different to get hit with a professional fighter bare knuckle compared to get hit with a glove on?
Yeah. It just rattles your face in a completely different way, do you know what I mean? And you can just feel the bone against bone sort of thing, like. So yes, I wouldn't recommend, staying, close in a bare knuckle boxing match, because it's just, it's only going to end one way, do you know what I mean? So, luckily, I moved enough to like not get hit very often, but when I did, I did wreck, and I was like, yeah, not happening. That's not happening again. No chance. I'll just back off a bit, like, dude.
Get things up to date. You're turning pro. Well, you've turned pro. You've signed a contract. Yeah. Do you want to tell us about that?
So I've signed with Steve Goodwin up in the southern area. I just thought, there's a lot of shows going on, in London, those areas, things like that. Big shows I want to get on. We originally planned I was going to box in Guildhall in 2020, April, in Plymouth. And then my next one was scheduled for the York Hall in London, which, has always been a dream for me to fight in that venue. Do you know what I mean? It's the home of British boxing, to be honest. So, I just decided, I'll sign over there, train here. But I've also got coaches down in Bideford. I've got Richard Grigg, who's training me for this professional bout. I got Mike Jones, Stuart Phillips training me down here at Bulldogs. I get my sparring over with Dan Chapman in my stake, very good friend of mine, bare knuckle world champion now. So yeah, I think I've got a lot of support around me in order to help me just compete, keep improving, keep getting the right fights, and just see where it goes. Do you know what I mean? And if anything does need to change or change it, we'll address those issues as they come.
Yeah, when you signed a contract with Steve Goodwin, who is an established promoter for people who might not recognise his name. Mm-hmm. I think I was a bit surprised, because normally Welsh fighters, they either side with Saniger or Mo Pryor or sometimes MTK. Obviously the elite guys, if you like, they go with Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn. Yeah, but I don't actually remember, I did try and think when I was driving down here today, I can't think of any other Welsh fighter who's signed with Steve Goodwin.
No, I think I'm sure there's a couple, but very rare that that the Welsh boys do sign over with Goodwin. I mean, it's just one of them things. I mean, my coaches are obviously involved with Goodwin. Got Billy Sambry, who's boxing with who used to box with Bideford ABC. He signed with Goodwin as well. I just thought it was sort of the right move for me, because I don't think I have a problem selling tickets over the bridge, do you know what I mean? So, if I can bring a lot of people over in those big areas where there's a lot more publicity, and just hopefully be able to climb through the ranks a bit quicker.
And you mentioned selling tickets. For people who don't know, for a boxer at your level, selling tickets is important. Mm-hmm. So do you want to just give a shout out for your next, or your pro debut, and how people can get hold of you for tickets for that?
If you want to buy tickets or whatever, I think a lot of you follow me on Instagram anyway, Conzo Mac. If you just DM me, message me for tickets. I mean, there's not many left, to be honest. I've sold out pretty much. So I think last time I sold 100 tickets before it got cancelled. So that was bollock, trying to give all the ticket money back and everything. There's no longer going to be ringside seats now because I think the British Board of Boxing Control have done an assessment on the venue. So there won't be any ringside seats. So it's just standard tickets, £40 a pop. And yeah, I think I've only got a few left, but if anyone does want to get any, just get in touch and yeah.
And has Steve laid out a plan for you for your pro career? I mean, how many times do you hope to fight in the first 12 months of your career, for example?
Well, I'm looking to fight at least 3-4 times a year, definitely, on these big shows. Hopefully, now and again, if there's ever a show in Wales where I could get on, I'd love to do that as well because it's much easier to sell tickets. I'm looking to in the next few years. Obviously, I want to win a British title. That's the goal at the minute. And obviously, if that happens, I'll just set another goal. Do you know what I mean? But at the minute, that's what I want to go for.
And have you got any sponsors you'd like to mention, or do you want to give a shout out to appeal for any sponsors to follow your career?
Well, I did have a lot of sponsors. I mean, I work primarily in the construction industry, so a lot of big construction firms have, jumped on board sponsoring me, helping me with, like medical expenses, nutrition, kit and everything like that. So, if anyone else wants to get on board, just let me know, because any help will, it's hard, it is hard starting out, do you know what I mean, like financially and things like that. So any help would be much appreciated.
And how can people follow your career? You mentioned you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter and Facebook as well?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter and Facebook, yeah, so it's just Conzo Mac Facebook, Conzo Mac Instagram. I'm not on anything else, I don't think. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, mate, it's good to speak to you this afternoon, and I look forward to following your pro career.
Hello, Selby Pontypridd. Can I take your order, please?